Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Delana, aka Colorful Chaos. Is basically a catch up with me. I know it's been like 6 months since the last time I saw you guys, and it's been a long time. I really miss, recording and editing. It's just a lot of things have been happening, and so life update wise. So we all know the pandemic is happening. It's like, we've been through it. A lot of states in the U.S. is actually opening up. My state has been opened up for a while now. It's on phase 2. I don't think we've gone to phase 3. So it's not fully open up, but I am like, keep an eye on y'all. I'm in my own car, so I don't have to have a mask on. But when I'm out, mask on. It's a huge shift. I know I had quit my job in September or October last year, so the whole job market thing didn't really affect me as much. If anything, with everyone staying home, I actually gained a lot more commissions than, or I saw an influx in my commissions coming in, and that was take care of business. So that was good on that part. I had other life developments where I moved out of my apartment. I moved back in with my mom, and anyone who lives with their parents, like, anyways, so I don't know, like, it's been an experience. It's been an up and down experience, and it's not a bad experience actually. At first, when I moved back in, just being 100% transparent with you guys, I really thought that I was taking like a step backwards in life, because it's just like, I was out on my own, finally got my own place, and then like I wound up going back home. It was something that I thought I would never do, and honestly, I've come to terms with it and come to peace with it. And actually, during this time of the pandemic, I'm glad that I did. In a weird way, it's nice to be home with family and being back with people that you love. Things that kind of came up and about when it came down to the pandemic. A lot of things had shifted in my life and I'm pretty sure everyone had a huge shift. I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna put 2020 with a negative connotation. It's been rough. We've had a lot of movements, protests, people getting sick and ill and dying, and a lot of people look at 2020 in a negative light. I see it more as a shift and change and growth. And I know I've grown internally and with my art as well, because this is an art channel. Unless you want to have topics like this, let me know. With that being said, with the art part of it all, when I took certain shifts and roles in my responsibility and things were happening at home, I didn't know how to juggle everything. And so I actually, again, 100% transparency with you guys right now, I had to close my commissions, really take time for myself. And it's not even just time for myself. I had to take care of not only me, but my family as well when it came down to, what was going on. People that I love were getting sick, and I'm just, being there for them. And everyone's okay now, which is great. Everyone's thriving in their own environments, and everyone's doing great. And as an entrepreneur and as a freelancer, it was a really tough pill to swallow when it came down to closing my commissions and not taking anything else on because of money. And then I also thought about how my clients would feel and how they would look at me and the reviews of my brand, and I didn't want anything negative to go on with that. But I really needed to put things into perspective and put certain things forward, and there were other things that were important. That's just a couple life updates that I have. And any advice for anyone that is dealing with something that is, you have a lot going on in your personal life, and then you're a freelancer and you're doing art, and it's just like it's too much, or not even just art in general. If you have a lot going on in your personal life, social life, or just work life in general, and it's hard to juggle, take that time to meditate, self-reflect, and figure out, what are your priorities, what's important, what are you willing to do that nice little heart reset. And honestly, that's what I did majority of the months, which that heart reset was needed for me to grow, and I appreciate it. Again, I'm not putting any negative connotations to 2020. 2020 has been real so far. It has been raw so far, and it is nothing but opportunity for growth. I had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to be by myself, to really meditate and reevaluate my goals. And so just to circle it back around, because you know that's what I do, just going back to the first video, like the last time you saw me was you know, my goals for my sketchbook, when I did my sketchbook video. If you want to see that, the link is down below in the description. Sketchbook wise, all right, so thumbnails. So one of the goals that I'm just gonna list the goals. So I had planning and thumbnails. That was one of the goals that I had for my sketchbook. I have been doing thumbnails for books, and I probably should have sat there and talked about my projects that I had in between. Some of my commissions, I have children's books that are lined up in commissions. So, you know, children's book wise, I'm set for the year. I'm set. Thank God, set. When it comes down to my projects, I have been sketching out in my sketchbook, knowing what compositions and what exactly I want to do. So in a way, when I wrote it down and for me to do it in my sketchbook, it wasn't like exactly what I thought what I was doing now. But I will say I have seen a change in progress when it comes down to my projects that I've been doing. That's a good thing. I'm getting into the groove. I'm going to dig deeper into it, hopefully, because right now, I'm not gonna lie, I look at my sketchbook as like an art piece in a whole. So when it comes down to doing thumbnails in there, I don't think I am actually comfortable doing that just yet, but hopefully I will be. I feel like I need to show a little bit more planning, and instead of me overthinking things when it comes down to my sketchbook, I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna see this type scenario. So the other thing is that I want to finish the sketchbook as a whole. Again, during the whole meditation, self-reflection thing, I really wasn't even in my own sketchbook. Crazy, right? You would think I would at least do some type of art for me. I did, and it wasn't a lot. And I'm being transparent and honest with you guys. So some of the things that I've done in my sketchbook, I'm pretty sure if I had to put like a percentage of how far into it I'm probably like 20%. 20% in the finishing of the sketchbook phase, which is pretty good. I mean, I was afraid I was going to start it and then never touch it again type scenario, and that's like worst case scenario. And anatomy and gesture, I haven't done full body or even half of a body that much. When it comes down to doing portraits, I've loved portraits of people's faces, so been drawing a lot of people's faces. I haven't done the 100 heads challenge, which kind of leads into the next goal, which was art challenges. Participating in our art challenges, I really want to start my own art challenge. I haven't really done any, like, you know, there's been some that I've really wanted to dive deep in, like do like a mermaid, because May had just passed. I thought about doing mermaid. I've never done it before, so it would have been fun. Or the 100 heads challenge, or 50 hands challenge, stuff like that. I haven't done those yet, but I do want to start my own, something that I know that will help me grow as an artist, or something that I know I need to work on, like portraitures. I'm really good at, and I can learn better. I can be faster with it. But when it comes down to like maybe medium exploration, do a challenge where it's just like for 30 days I try a different medium, or I do mixed media, or draw everything but a portrait challenge for myself. That is hard. I tried to draw a tiger one day, and it was, what is that moment? So that pretty much concludes like the sketchbook goals that I had. So overall goals as an artist, and what have I accomplished, or what I have started on so far for the year 2020. Staying organized and create a routine. For my personal life, I have created a routine. It's not the best routine, where I force myself to go to my studio, which, by the way, since I moved out of my house, where is my studio? I have a new studio. I forgot to put that in my life updates. That's a big one. Can we rewind that back real quick? Life update. I got my own studio. And this kind of goes into the overall goal that I wanted, which was to be in a gallery. It's actually a small gallery owned by a friend of mine who was gracious enough to let me rent a space with other artists in the actual gallery, and that's where my studio is. And it's really nice. I treat it as if it's a regular 9 to 5. Most days I get up, put on my clothes, and drive. Take a little drive to the gallery, take a little drive to the studio, and just go and paint or do whatever I need to do and really focus. It's really been it's been nice, like a home away from home type scenario. Patreon, I am actually currently still working on. I have my tier set. I just have to really actually put it on the actual Patreon website. Be ready, because Patreon will be announced and launched no later than the end of the first week of July. Like, I'm here for it, I'm ready for it, and when I do announce it, when it is ready, I will post it all over social media so that way you can see it. And then not only that, I'll do a video so that way I'll explain to you why I chose to do Patreon, what it is. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what it is by now, but just in case if you're living under a rock, you'll know what it is. So there's that. And I have some really cool, unique ideas that I want to really try out for like some of the high tiers, and then some unique ideas for even the lower tiers. And just I could see my Patreon also holding me accountable and adding on to the first one, which was my routine and my schedule. Next thing was create and collab with a mural. This is one thing I wasn't able to do because of the pandemic. Now that, you know, my state where I live is opening up a little more, and then, you know, the studio that I'm at, there are some spots of murals. I might be coming up with something in the works, maybe. I don't know. It's not over yet. It's only half the year is done, so the other half, who knows, I might have a mural in the winter or the fall, so that's something to stick tuned to. And then being featured in an art show or in a gallery, again, when it comes down to the pandemic, it is not wise to do an art show right now, but I have thought about doing something that might be an equivalent to it. I have ideas all the time that I write down, and it's something that I'm not gonna cross off just yet. As far as a gallery, I kind of did halfway of that goal. Like, my studio is inside a gallery. I have like a whole entire room to myself, so I can say so far that goal has really been completed. If not, it's definitely a different feeling. But as far as a art show wise, due to the pandemic, I doubt anytime soon, with how things are going, there will be a traditional art show. But who knows, I might come up with something that is a little bit, you know, different. I don't know, maybe. Basically, that's about it when it comes down to like evaluating my goals and what I have done. When it comes down to projects that I did in between time, I've done a few paintings that I'll probably, you know, show like here, maybe here. And then I have a lot of books that I've been working on, or I have books that are in progress that I technically can't talk about until they're really finished. And once they're finished, who knows, I might actually do a review on my process, my headaches, my heartaches, my blood, sweat, and tears that go into these books, and the many panic attacks that I've had. You'd think I would get used to this by now, but I am not. I promise. Always a new adventure when it comes down to books as an illustrator. At least in the colorful chaos dimension of things. But as paintings go, concept wise, I have a lot of things lined up, honestly. I want to hold myself more accountable when it comes down to posting YouTube videos. I have about 2 or 3 videos that might be coming out soon. I do have some old videos from my old apartment that I recorded and that I just never finished editing. I might actually just reserve those for Patreon exclusively, just to start things off with. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna go about it just yet, but I'm definitely back in YouTube game, definitely taking my art seriously, definitely keeping you guys in the loop from now on. So thanks again for sticking around with me. Thanks again for hanging out with me. And if you have any suggestions of what you want to see on my channel, anything you want to know, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. Make sure you follow all my handles and to click that bell and to subscribe to A Colorful Chaos channel. Until next time, you guys, embrace the chaos.